Today I am going to cover one of the most extraordinary flowering genus called impatiens. Either it has to be called impatiens or impatiens, I am not that sure. But it gets that name because these seeds, when they get fully ripe, these hairy little seeds, they kind of burst open when you touch them. Impatient too. So they're like, because they burst open, they're in a hurry to spread. So they called impatiens or impatiens. So those are the things. Normally when you squeeze it a bit, if it is fully ripe, it will explode. So then it is a vast group of plants, and there's so much about it. I can't do all that in a short video like this. Moreover, you all must remember I am hardly an expert. Self-taught plant enthusiast, that's all. So now this Impatiens balsamina, this variety this is the most common one. It's spread into all kind of gardens and all. It's originally from Western Ghats, and it's called Karna Kundala and Gauri Hu in Kannada. Karna Kundala, Gauri Hu, and then in Sanskrit it's called Tairini, Marathi Chirido. So in its natural habitat, it occurs in as soon when the monsoon rain starts. The last year's seeds they germinate, and then as the monsoon starts, it flowers and starts growing, and then the whole cycle happens within a year. By the time this some dry spells come in between the monsoon, all these balsams they flower off, and it has quite a long flowering season. And particularly on the west coast, you can find beautiful specimens suddenly on the roadside and all. As you're going along, you will discover that you'll discover them suddenly on the roadside and such places. And all colors are there. They kind of get pollinated by little birds and insects and all. And as a consequence, they come in a wide range of colors. In this particular patch that I'm covering itself, there are about some 10 or 15 variations of the color are there. Then it is also host to some butterflies, and it is prone to a lot of diseases in like now this after the heavy rain came, then suddenly the sun came out, and then there was no rain at all, and some fungal type of attack is happening on some of these wildflowers. Then it grows in nice moist locations, and along with this colocasia and all. Then we look at them for a while more. Some few thousand of these plants have come up, and in varied hues and shades. This one has light pink. I just dimmed the light to see the better effect. Then here they are more pinkish types. Then little orange, white, etc. also there. And it likes decent amount of sun. Too much water is dripping from the top. There is some tree overhanging and water drips in the rainy this thing, it kind of doesn't like it. And the predominant color in this particular patch what I am looking at is this pink kind of thing. And even there are variations of there. Here you can see there are two shades. One is more, this one is a bit more purplish, and this one is a bit lighter pink. I'll try to dim the light to see whether it is more noticeable. Anyway, one can, if I is a plant lover and flower person, you can spend all day long looking at them because they are so pretty. And people think, they don't know that India itself is the most beautiful country in the world. They think, oh, Switzerland and Singapore and all, but actually our own country is a marvelous place with so many species, so many weather variations, and vast biodiversity, and amazing flowers, fruits, herbs, varieties of people, so many cultures, all, so many types of cuisines, foods. In fact, there is no other place like this country. Now, some more we'll look at them. This is the biggest patch, and this person who lives next to it, he is kind of kindly not weeded it. He is also a nature lover and plant lover. And this is a marvelous bed. You will not find in any of the fanciest hotels and gardens also. You will not find this kind of glorious sight. And of so many hues and shades of this. And then this white also is there. That is a bit of a rarity. I am going to go closer to it and then decrease the light so that we can slowly appreciate its marvelous shape and color. So that is white. White and purple, lilac, pink, light pink, little darker pink. And I think the whites look very nice. This pink also is very pretty. Pink, some of them have double color. This one has a pink with a light yellow on it. With the dew hanging on them and all, it's a special treat. People who want to watch this kind of wildflowers should come to the west coast of India during the monsoon and wander around. Go out, look around, and then you will see them. This pink also is very nice. This particular pink. Somehow in the camera it's not, all the variations in the color are not captured, so subtle variations. And then those shapes, this is a, somehow it's a kind of supposed to be a kind of a precursor to this, some of these carnivorous plants, because this little cup shape what you see there, in some of them they have managed to secrete something inside which digests some of these insects. So it's quite a intricate subject, and that too with thousands of varieties of this impatiens. Some of them grow on rocks, tiny little flowers, some of them on the ground, some of them on trees. So They have occupied every possible niche in Western Ghats. And one of the funny thing about this plant, not funny, it's actually quite sad. These colonial characters, when they went marauding around the world, destroying cultures and civilizations, trying to improve everyone else, they encountered all kind of new species of plants. Marvelous ones. Some of them are flowering, some of them fruits, gifts and all that. And in their enthusiasm and innocence, I should say, they took these plants and spread them to every corner of the world, because they had colonies everywhere. So you start off with you take this Indian, this one, this Western Ghats impatiens were taken to Europe, to England, France, Germany, Holland, Canada, Europe, America, and then Africa. Here and there they took it because it grows well, it's pretty. And soon enough they escaped from the gardens and became invasive. So this beautiful plant here in our India, it is a natural resident, but in places like Europe and all, it has become a weed, it seems, and they occupy certain niche areas in like nitrogen rich kind of places and riverbeds and all, and they are competing with the local species. So just like these foreign plants have come and they're destroying our biodiversity and life forms, this is also happening in other places with our own Indian plants. This balsam has gone and occupied all kind of countries, all kind of places wherever it's suitable. And then a monster over there, but here it's there's one more balsam here. This is a very tiny chap. I'll have to do separately for this kind of thing. Anyway, just to show you the contrast, there, see the flower is so tiny. So this is it's a beautiful plant. Anyway, now it's a bit late to try to save it. Get rid of it in those countries. And in India, we have to protect it because it's our own species. When these exotic plants come here, they compete with our Indian chaps. This one is prone to many diseases and all. You get one exotic plant, then it will occupy similar niches and then they become competitors. So people who are serious about gardening and nature, environment and all, please take up these kind of beauties in your gardens. They are our desi flowers. They add to the biodiversity. They feed butterflies, birds, all kind of creatures. They enhance your area. And also you are giving shelter to some of our Indian species. Otherwise they will be gone in their natural habitat and you will only find them in exotic places after a while. So this has ended up becoming quite a long video, but this is such a beautiful patch that I hope I didn't bore you all with my long talks. Now I'll wind it up with a couple of close-ups of these flowers. Look in, there's a kind of a cavernous thing inside. And one more thing, funny thing about this plant, it starts off as a boy and becomes a girl later. It starts off as a male. Then towards the end of the flower, as the flower gets older, it turns female. Receives the pollen and seeds are formed. So I hope you got a good look at that marvelous thing. Now I will cover one more one white flower also like this, and then close this video. This pink pink also we might have to see once again. White is not occurring. Many whites are not there. By and large, they're orange, shades of pink, purple, lilac, and hardly one or two white chaps. Just look at that. It's actually as stunning as any of those orchids and all. But you have to peer at it. Go close and look. Only then you will notice this. I'll reduce the light a bit and see how it looks. Okay, so with this, I'll close this video.